build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Short Bangers. This is a Saturday morning. One should be a Friday morning one, but we're recording a day late because of the football, etc. So I'm Matty.
Good morning, I'm Colin.
Good morning, I'm John.
Very well, nicely done. I was actually going to point to you as a one, but then I don't know if you are in the same order. I think we've spoken about this before. If everybody's on the same order on the screen, on your own one.
No, we're not. You're not. I think it depends on what time you log in and all that. And I've got you stacked on my screen.
Oh, well, definitely no then, because I've got...
I'm in a sandwich here between the two of you.
Top right, John's on my left, my right is I'm sitting on the screen, and you're centre bottom, Colin. We're stacked on your ones. What about you, John? What's your arrangement like?
You're top left, I'm top right, and Colin's underneath
like
a reverse triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Right. Oh, talk about the reverse triangles. This is like very tenuous. Right. We talked before about when TikTok and that and Facebook videos start throwing up similar videos to ones that you've seen, right? So now I've got loads of videos about folk debunking religion, right? So just arguing the point about fucking why religion's a load of shite, right? But there's also like trying not to be derogatory here, but like a big heavy set big ginger bearded English guy who converted to Muslim, who's arguing with people who aren't Muslims to prove that he's right, but they're like sort of they argue on like totally redundant points and then look all smug that they've got it right. So like about saying like God, you can't prove that something that doesn't exist, for example, right? Which is one of the arguments about like we can prove that there's a God, but you can't prove there's no God because it's like how do you prove something fictional doesn't exist if it's no there? And he's like, well, you can't get a square-sided circle, so you can prove that something doesn't exist, like a square-sided circle. I think if I said cycle, right? And and look how smug on themselves as if they've proved that point wrong, and you go, but that's fucking bullshit. It's not a circle if it's got.
No, it's not a circle, man.
No. By definition, so that's no proving that something doesn't exist. That just is proving that you can what isn't a circle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't prove an invisible circle exists or didn't exist, right?
This comes into that argument about fucking didn't argue with idiots, though.
Yes, it does.
That's the, you know what I mean? It's, you can't win that argument because they'll just spin it and twist it and think they're right, and you just go, you're sitting there just confusing you even, and then you get to the point where you go, I didn't get how to fucking put an argument together here because this is so fucking ridiculous.
Well,
see, when you
that's
said
effectively
that it was
what happens.
I was going to say, see, when you said that it was a heavy-set guy with a big ginger beard that had converted to Islam, I thought you were going to describe the plot to Four Lions.
Aye. That I wasn't.
Worth a watch if you've not seen it, Colin.
Not seen it.
Good watch.
There's,
I think actually the humour is probably right up your street.
It's Chris Morris that did it, isn't it?
All right.
I don't think I've watched it all. I've seen a wee bit of it. I can't remember who else is in it. There's somebody else that's.
The boy that did Phone Jacker is probably one of the popular UK TV ones, but there's another guy, I want to say his name was Rish. He's been quite popular and done quite a few independent films as well.
Aye. I keep meaning to watch it just to can't remember. I've seen bits like
DVD and that.
It'll be if you've got one of those Fire Stick things, it'll be on that probably, but I don't know if it's on Netflix or I'll have a look and text you and find out, Colin. Aye. Anyway, TikTok and that's mental. See, there like things that like obviously hones in on something. Just goes, you're watching that, and then just hammers you with them. There's no escape. Even if you try like fucking just swipe away immediately, there's no escape for it.
What are you being hammered with just now, Matty?
That stuff.
Religion.
Brian Cox, not the actor. I've watched a few of his ones. I always find he's quite like fascinating to watch anyway. Like he's quite engaging and the topic is interesting. So I get a lot of that. There's a guy there now who's just basically going about fucking saying how evil religion is. Just like, he just kind of picks bits out and say, Like, just look what they've said there. It's barbaric, and so religion's evil. And like he made the point about like if like religion, if you look at a newborn baby, like a wee baby boy, nobody's first instinct is to go and get a fucking sharp tool and cut his fucking foreskin off. Do you know what I mean? But it is if you're religious, it's fucking barbaric. You're just mutilating a kid, you know, for fucking no good reason. Just fucking doing it because that's like a religious thing. And he's like, but he picks out loads of things like to say, well, why the fuck would you want that? And how the folk hold this up is like kind of like good values to live your life by, and sort of listen. So I've got a lot of him. I can't remember his name. There's another guy. It might be Richard Dawkins, who fucking slates it. And he's like, the Bible's good if you want to quote passages out of it, but you could quote passages out of fucking Shakespeare or whatever. You really need to afford the Bible any special status. It's just a work of fiction like anything else. Anyway, so I get a lot of that. That's like probably 90% of the stuff that comes up on my TikTok now.
Imagine having TikTok at your age.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
What's yours?
What's mad? I'm getting bombarded now with a guy called Melly Mel and Eminem sharing diss tracks about one another.
It is
good. That's like that band. Mind there was a lassie brought a song out years ago. It was all made up, but can't remember her name. But she brought a song out and it was all about her boyfriend and that. And then that went to #1. And then a week after he brought his one out, and it was like a reply to the.
Oh, was it shout? Oh, what was it called? Because her one, if it's the one I'm thinking of, was "Fuck You Right Back," wasn't it?
Aye. That was it. That was right. What was it? Let me see. I'm going to Google it now. See what their names are.
What was it he said? The lyrics were "Fuck what you said. It don't mean shit now." I can't remember the next bit.
Frankie, is that right?
Frankie was one of them.
Wow.
Fuck your presence, I might as well throw them out.
Amen. I don't want you back. Fuck it, I don't want you back. And Frankie replied with, "Fuck you right back."
And so Frankie Dettori and Eamon Holmes. This is like they had a bit of beef with each other and released singles.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Amazing. Right.
2004.
Neil Renton asked, should we stop asking closed questions?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why I asked it, John. I think he was just wanted an answer. He was just curious.
Why, Neil?
Yeah,
Text
why,
in.
Neil? Why? Text in. Fats Pickus, are tigers better than lions?
Oh, it's a good question, that, actually. I've not really... In what way, though, would they be better? How would you judge this? Let's make the criteria up.
Right.
And then I'll judge it.
It's funny, Colin, that you say that.
Aesthetics.
I was asking someone a question recently, and I thought it was very, very straightforward. And they came back and said something like, "By what measure?" I'm like, I have no idea. I was just asked to ask you this question. So, in what field, and what discipline, and by what measure?
Mm-hmm. Loads of fields. That's where they live, isn't it? Like fields, woods, and that.
See, as a cuddly toy, I think lions are better than tigers.
Is that because of the mane?
Just because I think they are by nature just a bit more cuddly, or a bit more cuddly looking. Like they look like there's a bit more that you can maybe dig your fingers into and sort of snuggle.
Right. What's better to look at though? Because tigers have got the stripes, haven't they?
Aye, I think they're both good to look at. Like they're both a sturdy, sort of athletic beast, aren't they? The lions got the reputation of being a leader, but I guess tigers have got a bit that in them as well, eh? Who would win the fight? The lion would win the fight, eh?
Aye. Lions are the king of the jungle, aren't they? That's the reputation they've got.
That
I think they've got that for nothing.
No.
I think the only thing that normally takes out the lion is another lion.
Yeah.
Like just when they get a bit old and that, and some
laddie
sides.
They're in laddie.
Aye.
I've seen the Lion King.
Which one do you think would be better to make a footballer run faster?
You see the clip about the sharks today as well.
Aye. Brilliant.
See that thing about the sharks? Is that a quote for a TV show or something? I swear I recognise it, but I don't know where from.
Well, it was just Lee Johnson, wasn't it? Like, I don't know if he was quoting something else.
Unless I've maybe seen that same video for a couple of years ago, and that's where I recognise it. But
somebody tagged us in it and said it was like he'd like our Gazelle story. Be more Gazelle. Right, Jake Gapper. Did we settle him on it? Are we going John, Tiger, or Ryan?
Tiger.
Come on.
I'll go Lion then.
Does that mean I've got cast and vote?
Yeah.
Tiger because I like Frosties. Right. And Lions are like, well, fucking hell, you've got a Lion bar, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Would you prefer Frosties or Lion bar?
Would you rather have a bowl of Frosties or a bowl of Lion bars?
So childhood Frosties, yes. Nowadays Frosties, no. In which case it makes me think the Tigers are more likely to sell out. So I don't think Lion bars have reduced the sugar in them. They've got a wee bit smaller, but they taste...
that's a UK thing or a Britain thing or a Scotland thing, whatever. Sugar tax and all that. Because when you go away, as you know, it was a month ago now. It fucking feels like forever. But sugar puffs abroad are like something of the 80s. Like proper sugar puffs. They taste like, well, they're called sugar puffs. Never mind whatever they're called here now. Honey puff. What do they call them? Honey puffs?
Honey puffs.
No, they call them something else. I can't remember what
they're called honey puffs now. I think they're called honey puffs. That sounds like a good enough reason to go on holiday on its own. Never mind like the sun and the...
That's what my wife goes for. Every day. Bowl of sugar puffs. Every day. Yeah.
Did she bring any home?
No, because they're in the buffet restaurant things. They're not in the box or anything. They're in that. They scoop them up. So,
Jake Gapper, Groundhog Day is the topic.
Okay.
It's not. Have you seen it? Right? Have you seen it?
Nah.
John?
A few times.
Like in the movie, Bill Murray relives the same day for 34 years, in which time he kills himself a couple of dozen times, learns French and masters the piano. Besides ripping the heat off it, how would the bangers while away 34 years reliving the same day?
Is it 34 years they stuck there? I wasn't aware of that.
I'm going to say yes because it's in the question. I'm just taking that. I'm not fact checked it, but
the year doesn't can it be? Because
so it's 34 times.
I was going to say 34 days because that would be fucking multiply that by 365 or 366 for your leap years. You're fucking like boy's done it thousands of times. There wasn't that many. How would you do it though? It would be funny because I'm trying to remember the film, but does he fall in love in that in it?
Aye.
And then he's got to start over again the next day.
It has to make her fall in love with him, and that's like how he sort of kind of spends his time was working out how to impress her. You couldn't master piano in 34 days. I don't think. I think if you 34 years seems more like you definitely good at it in that time.
So he also mastered the ice sculpting as well. And I don't think I would spend my time learning how to sculpt ice with a chainsaw or any other implement. So,
but see that when we talk about it, right? I can't remember that. I have seen the film, but I can't remember all that. When he wakes up the next day, he's still learned those skills he's learned the previous day.
He's retained it,
even though it's wiped everything for everybody else.
Aye, he's retained it. Nice. It's like he's woke up the next day, but everybody else is experiencing that day for the first time.
So if he was to do, I don't know, say it was a big sporting event, and he knows who's going to win it.
Yep.
He could just go and win the bet every day, and just increase the bet. He would keep the money that he won, presumably, and then he could go in and go, well, they're going to win it again tomorrow. I'll double my stake. All my winnings on it for yesterday. And 34 days later, it would just have accumulated up to millions of pounds. And he would keep all that.
I don't think he gets to keep the stuff because I'm trying to think, does he know Tanya's alarm clock one day? Like he smashes up, going the idea being that it'll no wake him up the next day, but the next day it goes off and it's back to as it was. So I think if he had possessions, they would no longer be there, and so I don't think he could do that.
Right. It's memories and skills he keeps, but not things,
not possessions.
Okay.
Would you, like, if you were just reliving the same day, like, if it was 34 years, right, which is a fucking long time, right, to just have nothing else to do, with no consequences or anything. So you could, like, he's killed himself and everything as part of that time. How long do you think it would take you before you just lost all motivation to learn stuff and you just went, oh, fuck, I can't be arsed. Like, I'm just going to have this year, I'm just going to...
Just stay in my bed.
Aye.
Probably after the first time I killed myself and woke up the following morning, I just go, that's it, that's plenty.
Aye, I'm done now.
Because he goes out, he kills himself multiple times, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, launched himself off the building, there's the toaster in the bath, I'm sure, walks in front of a bus. Try to think of others. But aye, like if you...
See, even if you knew you were going to wake up the next day, would you still have the balls to do that?
No, I would think.
Never that.
Well, I suppose within that, there's the danger that the clock doesn't reset as the film kind of concludes. That's, life just suddenly continues as normal.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Apologies to everybody who's not seen Groundhog Day yet.
How long has it
Or
been
if
out?
you
About
only seen it
45 years?
once. Aye. I get bored quite. I like that. I'd quite like to play the piano, but I do kind of, if I could do it like a day at a time, just be like having. Yeah, you teach yourself as well, because how you get a piano tutor at short notice like that.
Every day.
Does he get one in the film though? I'm trying to remember, or if I'm confusing that with another one like Home Alone or something. I'm trying to remember. Someone definitely gets a piano tutor at some point.
Who knows?
Oh wait, is it the wedding singer? She pays him in meatballs.
How many fucking films have you got to rattle through till you get to the... You've just spoiled it for everybody. Spoiled the wedding singer and everything.
Meatballs aren't a spoiler.
Well, you say that, but I thought that was the highlight of that film. Tony Swanson asked, I'm late, but just a question. With the new stretchy material in the hip strip, will the more rotund fan opt for a smaller size that look like a camel walking upright backwards? No, go for the bigger size still.
Aye.
Are we talking like straight lines and then curves?
There was
where it stretches.
A viral thing in the news recently this week where there was a Chinese zoo got accused of putting a guy in a bear suit as the bear.
The sun bear. Aye.
The picture of it though, where the bear was standing up, did look like, that's just a guy in a suit.
How well do you think that you could impersonate a bear in a realistic bear suit?
I would need to study what they do. I don't know what they do.
What
if you
had 34 years?
They would. I think it'd be fast enough to impersonate, because bears are grizzly bears are apparently absolutely rapid, aren't they? Like the reaction wise and all that. So I wouldn't be able to impersonate that part of it. If you mean just lying about and that, scratching and stuff, I could do that.
You could do a panda. Like, you could be a panda, no bother, but I reckon like a grizzly bear, a black bear, or whatever. And also, like, if you did have to run, I think I'd be able to do it fast on all fours. I think you would sort of instinctively sort of start off running on your hind legs and go, "Oh fuck, I'm meant to be a bear."
Could you imagine?
Carry off. What animal do you think you could do?
Oh, I don't know. I was imagining you in a bear suit there, like getting up on your hind legs, and then the big bear arms giving it the big strides. Animals to impersonate.
It'd be a boy. That would be a good one, because you just lie about it.
Which one?
There was a boy. There was an Asian guy, I'm sure, that had paid a lot of money to have a realistic dog suit recently, and he was walking about on all fours. I'm sure he looked like a collie.
Is he quite a wee guy?
No, or at least he was probably normal size, but the dog looked enormous, relatively speaking.
I quite like the wee videos when they've got the dogs that have got like a sort of spider suit thing on them. You seen them, and the dogs just running about and folk fucking shit their pants at this massive dog-sized spider. They're quite amusing.
You ever considered wearing a shark fin when you're on the beach on holiday or that, just to noise folk up?
Nah, because I know what would happen, right? I'd be like, haha, look at me, I look dangerous, I'm a shark. And some cunt would go, oh, whale. And then that'd be my day ruined.
Thinking about it over and over.
Aye. So, have you thought about it, John?
Nah, no, especially. Like you see it from time to time, but I think the concern is a wee bit like Colin was saying with Groundhog Day that I'd worried that someone would be on the beach like Roy Scheider with a harpoon or a boat or a gas canister to blow me up with.
Aye. And it's not funny anyway, is it? Like, oh, look at this Joker with his fucking shark fin.
It's probably funny for about 2 seconds for you, and then suddenly everyone's run out the beach,
Aye.
losing their minds.
Anyway, right, we're out of time. There was a good question there that we've not got time to ask, right, about farting on a fast train. So we'll probably try to start
We've
with
done
that.
these
If I
kind of
remember.
ones before. Aye,
Aye,
we'll do that
I'll
next week.
try to
That's a
start.
wee teaser for everybody to
Aye.
listen in. It's like that one when you listen to like both one are bad for it. They'll go, oh, and there's this question like, who's the most unfaithful profession? I'll tell you after the news or after these adverts. Oh, fuck off! Just tell us it was a nurse, man.
Aye, okay. Right, thanks.
And it is a nurse.
Is it?
Just,
Aye, in case you're married to one. Then,
Yeah.
no luck. Right, thanks very much for your questions, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.